with Terry Shropshire. Good morning to you. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
The sun is shining, shining, nice and bright, bright. The birds are chirping, chirping,
and I'm ready to fly.
Time to get ready, ready
for another day.
Hey. No one can stop us. Oh, we gon' learn to play.
Oh, every day we learn and play. We do our best, so we'll be great.
Oh, 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 oh. You do your best, best,
and I don't mind.
So let's get ready, ready, ready.
Cause it's about that time.
Good morning, morning, you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning, time to be great. Good morning, time to wake. Good morning,
your dance and play.
Good morning,
so start the day.
Good morning, open your eyes. Good morning,
reach for the sky.
Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do? Good morning, 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 morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, 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 how do you do?
Good morning.
You see me on my grind.
Woo. Stars got to shine.
I'm a supernova.
Yeah, you see me taking over. Yeah,
I'm on the move. I got a way to shine to it. So let me hear you say, every day we gon' learn to play.
Hey. You said it. It's a brand new day. Rolling out 8 a.m. The wake up call. What's going on? Cass?
What's up? Good morning. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Rolling Out AM. We have an exciting show for you today. We got some performers. We got some actors. Exciting day. Stay tuned. Romeo, what's up this morning?
It's Tuesday, Cass, and we made it to Tuesday, Cass, because yesterday was Monday, so today is Tuesday. So
Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday.
That was profound.
Hey man, my sis said, "What's going on?" That's what's going on. Tuesday with some great guests. Glad everybody's tuned in and turned up and ready to rock on this AM. We appreciate every single person that appreciate us. Oh, that one almost rhymed. And shout out, man, Key James. What's going on with you?
Oh man, I'm just chilling, man. Just you know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's Tuesday after Monday. Just wanted to see if Cass in the city checked out the Democratic National Convention. What was your favorite part, Cass?
I heard a little bit about it. I definitely enjoyed Michelle Obama for sure. I love when she speaks. I think she just brings everybody together. So I definitely enjoyed her speech. She definitely charged people to get out and vote. She said, it doesn't matter if you need to bring a picnic chair, bring a lunch, you need to get out and vote. So I enjoyed Michelle Obama for sure.
Michelle Obama sound like I swear, every time she talks, she sound like your auntie telling you to do so. I told you. I told you to go vote. Now go vote. I don't know why, but I think one of the best things that her and Barack Obama, and I know they've been out of office for a while, but they just, the two of them left this excellence of encouragement. Like, it's weird. Like, you hear her and you feel like you're in trouble because you didn't do what you're supposed to do. Like, you didn't go vote. Michelle Obama gonna call you. So I love it.
Yeah, definitely. That's what people need to think about. I mean, it's time to get out and vote because this is a very serious election. This is a very serious time right now. So it's very important to make sure you're registered. This mail-in ballot situation is crazy right now. So if you can get out to vote, put on your mask and make sure you go do that because it's definitely a crazy time in our history.
And I got to give a shout out, Cash. Shout out to all my YouTubers, man. So right now, trending right now, you're going to see one of the trends is called Trump Canceled America is trending right now. So all the YouTubers finally took action because they didn't know a Trump ad was running on their show, on their post. I don't know if you guys have known this, but literally what's been going on is every time somebody uploads a video, even us, every time somebody uploads a video to YouTube, YouTube attaches whatever they want to it. Well, apparently Trump ads have been running on all Black media YouTubers. So like, it's funny. Like yesterday I was watching an old clip of this YouTuber who's a comedian, and the Trump ad just popped up like, are you voting? Do you know your rights? I was like, I'm pretty sure he don't know that you on his YouTube. So shout out to all the young YouTubers stepping up, man. Love that.
Yeah, definitely time to use your voice if you have one. Use your platform.
Thanks.
All right, Cass report. What's going on, Cass?
So in my report, we're going to get into a little bit of music, a little bit of TV. Starting off with President Obama. He actually just released his summer playlist, the songs he's been rocking with this summer. You know, some of the people who made the cut: Rihanna's Work, Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion, Savage Remix, Young T, Don't Rush, and a bunch of others. So this is super cool. I think Obama, like you said, he's just kind of like that. He makes you feel like family. And for him to, do this is cool to see like what he's been listening to, kind of how it relates. It's a wide spread of genres. Obviously, I just talked about some, R&B, some hip hop, but he has a wide span of different songs. So, if you're looking for new music to check out, definitely go see what Obama's listening to, expand your horizons.
He didn't have Cardi B on there?
I don't think he had Cardi B on there. There's a couple of different pages. This was like on the first page, I believe, but then there's a second and third, I think. So I'm not sure if Cardi B made the cut, but I know Beyonce did. So, I can't argue with him. I can't argue. Up next, we have Trey Songz has some new ink. He's showing off on his Instagram. He actually just got a tattoo of his son, to honor him and everything. And this looks very similar to his son. So this is super cool. I believe Cat Tat did it. Romeo, Cat Tat from previously like Black Ink.
Yeah.
He's super dope tattoo artist. Up next, we have Kenya Barris from Blackish and Black AF. He is set to produce a Netflix documentary about civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who obviously is legal counsel for Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and many other families who've lost their family, because of police brutality and things like that. So shout out to Kenya Barris. I'm interested to see how he's going to, make this documentary and, what it'll bring to light. So I'm excited for that. And we have some unfortunate news to share. Former BT CEO Deborah Lee, her son Quinn Coleman, who was a DJ and A&R, actually has passed away. He was 31 years old. They made this announcement yesterday. So we definitely want to send prayers to her family during this time because the cause of his death is unconfirmed right now. So definitely sending our prayers to Deborah Lee and her family in this moment.
I know him, the DJ, Cass.
Yeah, very sad. 31 years old. So it's a tough time for her family. So go ahead, Terry.
He missed it. 2020 is trash.
Okay. Yeah, so very, very sad. But we do have some birthdays today that we want to get into. Aniko Hart, the wife of Kevin Hart, 36 years old today. Actress Parker Mena is 25 years old today. And Greg Leaks, who is married to Nene Leaks, is 66 years old today. So shout out to them. Happy birthday to everyone else celebrating. We hope you have an amazing day.
Yeah. Let's go.
We got balloons, yeah. The cake is on the way. We got the music playing, cause it's your holiday. Woo. We invited family, and everybody came. I strike a pose for me like you in a picture frame. And you got your finest clothes on, and $1 million smile. So we gon' celebrate you for a while. And don't forget we got the candles when you away. Don't forget we got the candles. Happy birthday, gonna celebrate you for a while. Candles, blow
Parker.
Special birthday shout out from Romeo.
Just love me some Parker. But everybody's up, man. Shout out to everybody checking on Facebook, everybody checking on Twitter. Excuse me, y'all see me because I'm looking at all y'all at the same time. Naomi Boggs, Ashley West, Cheryl Poker. Starlet Horn says South Florida must vote today. Our lives depend on it. Tell them. Tyru, what's going on? Selma Preston, what's going on? Miss West, what's going on? And last but not least, but not last, my Iris Baker. I'm gonna start claiming Iris. Iris Baker, hey, how you doing? You know, I'm happy to see you. All right, so here we go. Where we finna go, and wherever they take us, that's where we're gonna go. It's the Rolling Out Social Report. Now, I don't know what Kim Kardashian does. Like, I really just don't know. Kim Kardashian joins the fight with Monica to get the release of C Murder. Now, C Murder has been in jail since I think for me, like senior year in high school, like 2002 or something like that. Look, if Kim Kardashian gets C Murder out of jail, I'm a Kardashian. I'm switching to the dark side because clearly they got powers. They have not only ruined and created lives, but they getting people released. I mean, look, just gonna join the fight. But we're gonna come back. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm glad to see that she's finally found, a reason to exist. You know what I'm saying? Other than to show, I'm glad she's found something positive to channel her fame and to use her platform for something that is good for someone else. You know what I'm saying? So the first 10 years was just, basically, what it was. I mean, I haven't seen this show in 10 years. I'm glad that she's now doing something that is uplifting or doing some kind of good for somebody. But it's unfortunate that it gets to this point that so many people get freed by her when they should already be freed.
Say that again.
If she's getting them freed, let's review that. If she's getting them freed, that means that they should not have been in there or should have been freed already, which really, again, speaks to this paternalistic, racist country and system that it takes a white woman to get black people free. So, but I'm glad she's doing it.
I don't know if she's white, but I do agree with you, man. If Kim Kardashian could walk into any courtroom and she's freeing, like she really freeing people, like King James said, bruh.
And let's get it clear. She's Armenian. That is one of them Eastern European countries. She's white. She's white. She is considered Caucasian in this country. That's all that matters. In this country, just like the people from South Florida, the people who fled Cuba, and the people in the Dominican Republic, they're considered white. They consider themselves white. Just like that white woman, last name Garcia, who had KKK on her Twitter bio and was mad that she got fired in Florida, in South Florida. She said, the blue didn't back me. I didn't get backed by the blue. Wait, hold up. But but her last name is Garcia, but she's still white. So, you know what? It actually even doesn't matter. It matters what you are in this country. It doesn't really matter if she's white or not. She's considered white in America, and that's all that matters.
You started, Cass. Told you. See what y'all started, Munson. Next on the block.
No, not
next on the block. Hey, somebody. So the feds find 1.2 million hidden in one of R. Kelly's controlled accounts. Why is this important? This is important because if you remember on our last week's social report, R. Kelly was sending out goons to bribe past people who have past ladies who have are
past
on the
female victims.
Past female victims who are on the docket to testify against him. Hey, brother, hey man, it's a wrap. Just we trying to tell you to take this L. You ain't getting out because of Corona. You ain't getting out. You might want to call Kim Kardashian. Matter of fact, if that's the case, you're not going up. Let it go.
Now that's actually probably his best chance. He has no chance of getting out, but you might as well call Kim Kardashian and use the other money that you're hiding.
No, she would not help him get out. No.
Oh, she won't?
No, I highly doubt it.
Okay. Well, you know what? He has no other chance of getting out. I mean, because it's like Romeo said, it's pretty much a wrap. I know that you're supposed to be considered innocent until proven guilty, but it's a wrap. It is a wrap.
Compound too much on top of just being there. So yeah. But that actually leads to the next thing. Now, this is one of the things in rolling out where I would like to say, I would like to call this segment "Get Your Boy." I would like to call this "Get Your Boy." So Kanye wants to collab with TikTok to make a Jesus TikTok for Christians. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. Kanye wants to make a Jesus TikTok for Christians. Get your boy.
Well,
like get your boy. That's all I'm gonna say. But they still let Kanye win. Wow, what is going on in this world? And last but not least, man, we want to give a shout out to I don't even know what to call y'all, the Washington football team, as King James a couple weeks ago.
No, that's actually their name, the Washington football team.
That's the official name.
Yeah, that's the official name.
Okay.
The Washington football team.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a joke. Okay, Washington football team for its first Black president in the NFL, man. And we definitely want to give a shout out to that. The gentleman's name, it eludes me at the moment, but I know he is on rollout.com where you can go check out and read the story. But I don't know if it's a step in the right way. I don't know if they're still trying to cover up, the past.
Yes. He's a token. Yes, he is. He's a token. He's qualified, but he was never going to get hired before COVID. He was never going to get hired before the controversy surrounding the team. And now that Daniel Snyder, the owner of the Washington football team, is in trouble, Mr. Jason Wright, now they hired him. But he has already been qualified. Look at this. The NFL has 70% black, 26% white, and he's first ever black executive in NFL history. That is atrocious. That is an abomination. Of course he's qualified. This man has got together Fortune 500 companies around the globe. But all of a sudden, you're going to hire him after you get charged with facilitating some type of sexual hostile environment, and you were forced to change your name because Pepsi pulled out and FedEx pulled out, from your advertising dockets after a decade of not wanting to change the team. All of a sudden, you found Jesus. All of a sudden.
What is?
Shut up. He's already qualified.
No doubt. What's in King James cup? Somebody get King James.
No. Actually, I need to step off and get my coffee. I haven't even had my coffee yet. I'm just saying this is a token, but he's already. Mr. Jason Wright was qualified years ago. There's other people that's qualified. The NFL is 70% black, and he's the first executive in NFL history? What? Man, get out of here. Shut up.
Yeah, this man his coffee, man. Facebook is check it in. Kavina Chapoloni, I hope I said that right. I'm sorry. Says good morning to everyone. Iris Baker says tell Kim to give Kanye his meds, please, because he's doing too much. Tyrene Norman, what's up? And also, Iris Baker said, calm down, King James. It's okay. We feel your pain over here. We love to see you back. It's okay. But that is the social report, man. And that's what's going on in the rolling out world, man. Kim's, Kanye's, C Murders, and then TikToks for Christians. Now, I don't know. I'm really curious how that looks, but that's going to be interesting. King James, what you got, man?
Oh, yeah. I got plenty on the docket. Let's see what's going on. Of course, we were talking about it earlier in the show. Michelle Obama, saying who's like American royalty, basically blasted the current president as the main speaker of the Democratic National Convention that opened up yesterday. And Michelle Obama was talking about how imperative it is for people to get registered and to vote and to take steps to vote. Now, we're going to have early voting. We're going to have regular voting, whatever you have to do, whether it's through mailing voting, it doesn't matter. Like she said, bring your chairs, bring some food, prepare to stand in line, whatever you got to do. This might be, and they always say during every election cycle, but this might be true of this one, actually, literally. This is the most important election in U.S. history. I mean, we are dissolving into a totalitarian society where somebody is actively infringing upon the rights of which this country was built. So there's somebody stampeding and trampling on our democratic processes, the very foundation of this nation. So yeah, it is imperative that people get out there to vote. And I enjoyed her speech on there last night. She's always elegant, always very articulate, and always very just. We actually have we can show a part of what she talked about. Thank you, producers, for showing that for me.
Good evening, everyone. It's a hard time, and everyone's feeling it in different ways. And I know a lot of folks are reluctant to tune into a political convention right now or to politics in general. Believe me, I get that. But I am here tonight because I love this country with all my heart. And it pains me to see so many people.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can only show just a little bit of that, but it gets you to the point of what Michelle Obama was talking about. She loves this country. We all love this country. We just want it to get better. And so we just need to do what we have to do to recover. Economic pundits said that it may take up to 18 years to rebound from the 5 or 6 month damage that's been done by the pandemic and the recession and everything else that's come up with it. So we need to stop the hemorrhaging now. So thank you, Michelle Obama, for staying in place. Thank you for sharing that she had low-grade depression last week because of what's going on in this country. So she's wealthy, famous, beautiful, educated, but even the creme de la creme of society is feeling low-grade depression. So I think it enabled people to feel better about their current situation. If you're feeling a little down, feeling a little depressed, tired of going through what you're going through the last 6 months, Michelle Obama kind of made it okay. Like, calm down. I'm going through this with you. We're going to be okay. We're going to turn this around. And she gave hope. I mean, I don't know if you guys have any opinions about what you saw last night if you watched it. Anybody?
Yeah, like I said, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I think she's always very transparent, like you said, and she's, this role model that we want to listen to and we need in a time like this to bring us together. Like I said, I loved her messaging. She was very encouraging about getting out and using our right to vote. So I love it. I'm always here for Michelle Obama.
Yeah, my curiosity going to come. I'm still curious to who's going to make those speeches for Donald Trump. That's what I'm waiting on. I want to see those people in their faces to be like, because all of his supporters, they've been hiding King James. They'll speak and then they'll go back to their little shadow, or they'll say something against the nation and go back to their little shadow. Nah, I want to see the people in the forefront.
Yeah, well, that's not how it's ever operated. It's not going to operate that way now. Only after he died did most people even understand that Donald Trump even had a brother who died. Some people didn't never even heard of him until he died. So some people, that is the desire to hang out in the wings of things. They don't want to be out front. So that's not going to happen. But anyway, on to the next story, as I'm being prompted by the producers because I can't get into a little bit. I could be voluminous. But anyway, okay, for the first time in history, it seems like it, a major rap legend, alleged killers, have been arrested. They actually solved the crime, allegedly. The U.S. Department of Justice and the FBI, well, it's pretty much the same thing. The U.S. Department of Justice and the NYPD held a press conference yesterday afternoon after two men who allegedly busted into his studio in Queens, New York, and shot him down execution style, have been arrested. We know how, basically the police are notorious for not being able to solve crimes that involve major legendary hip hop stars. It goes all the way back to the 90s and even before that, before Tupac and Biggie. So I don't know if you have any feelings about that, Jam. It's been 18 years. I don't know why it took 18 years. That is also kind of, I don't know. That's kind of dubious.
That's too long.
Yeah, like what, because in 2007, the Department of Justice, when they were prosecuting one of the guys who was already in prison, they alleged that he was part of the crime then. So that was back in 2007. That's 13 years ago. What new evidence do you have now? And why did it take you 13 more years to allegedly solve this crime? So I don't know. I don't even know how I feel about this. It's 18 years. What evidence did you have in 2007? Come on, man. Romeo, you into that? What you a DJ just like Jam Master Jay? How you feel about this?
The legendary status of him is awkward, like you said. The legendary status of him, a Tupac, a Biggie, like the legend of the Nipsey Hussle that was on camera, that was quick. But the legendary status of some of these people and the elongated conviction of who did it baffles me. It literally, you can catch who robbed the Quick Trip in 2 days. Like, come on, man. You can't find out who killed the legend. Come on, man. So I'm with you, King James. It's a conspiracy going on. I said it. It's a conspiracy going on.
Okay, I think I have another story, so I better get to that because our next guest is ready to come on. How do you feel about this? Because Rush Limbaugh made a heinous remark. I put abhorrent. Well, yeah, same thing. Sexual reference to Kamala Harris as he referred to her as a garden tool. So we all know what that garden tool is, and that's what he called her. He called her a mattress because of the fact that he said on radio that she slept her way to the top and that she's unqualified, which seems absolutely ridiculous. That he would actually trample on this woman and basically behave in this sexist way when there's somebody who Rush Limbaugh got the Medal of Honor from the White House. Okay, somebody put something around his neck who has some charges as well. But we don't hear about those charges. But they want to talk about Kamala Harris. First of all, I want to know if you can even say her name correctly. That's what I want to know. And how are you going to talk about her and not talk about the sexual charges of that person on Pennsylvania Avenue? Rush Limbaugh, I need an explanation. You can't talk about one without the other.
You just talking. You spreading all these rumors and things like that, as opposed to it's just as messy. It's disrespectful. Just move on. That's too much.
No, the fact that he actually has corporate sponsors is a problem. The fact that corporations are actually advertising on his show is a big problem.
Yeah, and calling us.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It really. Go ahead, Chair.
No. I was about to say yeah, and the fact that they did start a change.org petition. You know what I'm saying, and some are appealing to some of his corporate sponsors. But the fact that you can get on national radio, you're making $85 million a year, and you have an audience of 15 to 20 million people, and you are allowed to call a U.S. dignitary out of their name, but not just out of their name, but an egregious, reprehensible name.
That's why I love y'all, because y'all do all the corporate stuff. I'm gonna get now to the nitty gritty. So this is gonna be my RPI. RPI. Look, KPI. Thank you,
Hey,
Steve.
Vivian.
I'm gonna do my homework. I'm gonna find out who his sponsors are, and I'm gonna create a council campaign for him. I'm gonna create my own council campaign because I can. And then number two, Sir, don't you know that every black woman got that one cousin? Like everybody here, or everybody on this screen got that one cousin in their family that will fight anybody. Do you know?
You are crazy.
That one cousin gonna come get you, brother. You can't be calling out nobody family members as no garden tool. Are you serious?
That's just disrespectful. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, he gets paid to be disrespectful.
Yeah, that's it.
That is, he gets paid for that. He is the microphone for a group of people that believe and want him to say anything that will destroy and incite and encourage others to go out and continue to suppress this.
Yeah, it's just sad that he gets paid tens of millions to traffic in sexism and racism every single day. I mean, it's just.
Well, he didn't even get busted when he had all his drugs, Terry. I mean, come on. He served no time.
No.
Let a brother get caught. He doesn't have a problem. No, you'd be put away for years.
Yeah. Powerful prescription medication that's against the law, and he did not. And now he's promulgating in counterfeit theories about Kamala Harris. And I just don't understand why there's not more of a backlash. This was revealed yesterday. He said it on Friday. So he's had the whole weekend to let this marinate across the airwaves. And so there should be a lot more outrage, because we should not allow one of our people, one of our dignitaries, to be disrespected without an answer. You're free speech, but we're free to respond to what you say. But anyway, that concludes my report. I believe that concludes my report.
Yeah, and one more story, the young Dems.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Very important. This is a tragedy. Young Democrats of Maryland leader Joseph Kitchen was found dead in suburban Washington, in Maryland. And so they have no explanation as to how he passed away, why he passed away. But shout out, or I should say, condolences to him and his entire family. I bless his family with love. I can't imagine what it's like to have, you know what I'm saying, to find somebody who has a promising future, somebody who's actually doing something, and to be found dead. I send out love to his family. That concludes my report. Our Rolling Out AM Wake Up Call. Thank you for following us. Thank you for sharing our show. And our next guest is here, as I am being told. So we need to go ahead.
To the question of the day.
Oh, we're going to the question of the day. Okay.
Question.
And our question of the day, we will be seeing in just a second. Yes. Do we believe, the question of the day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do we believe that Cardi B is the appropriate representative of the Black community to interview and ask questions of Joe Biden, as she did yesterday, where she demanded that Black people stop being killed, that they get together with to stop and to obliterate or decimate the prison industrial complex, and to basically stop or get this together with the racial injustice. So Cardi B made this demand of presidential candidate Joe Biden during the Zoom interview as part of Elle magazine. Is that how you spell it? I say it, Cass, ELLE, Elle magazine. She did that yesterday. And so, yes, and she, in her most demonstrative, loving self, she was with all the histrionics and all of the talking and all of the hands, she was asking them to stop killing Black people. So the question of the day is, does she have the right, and is she the proper representative to tell anyone, to tell Joe Biden that we need to stop the killing of Black people by police, stop police brutality and racism and judicial injustice? Is she the right representative? Anybody?
I rock with it. I
don't think she's saying anything wrong.
Let me tell you something.
I don't know if I'm not saying she's the spokesperson for Black people, but what she's saying, I don't believe is wrong. She's asking for something I believe majority of our community wants as well.
And if anybody, you're right, Cass. And then on top of that, if anybody's gonna give a clean cut question, it's gonna be her. She ain't finna dance around nothing. she gonna say
straight like that.
It's political. They're definitely working to reach individuals through iconic people. Like, we got to make a decision. Do you want to be included? And do you want them to reach out? And many people admire her. I mean, come on. The WAP's watched every day. Somebody's singing the WAP. And it makes him much more approachable because he's 80 years old. So clearly, these people's great grandfather. So this is an effort definitely by the Democratic Party. I don't think he'll be the last. And I hope she's not the last Black influencer, or entertainer to actually interview him. So
yeah, and what's his name already interviewed him a couple of months back or a month back, Charlamagne the God from the Breakfast Club. So Cardi B is not the only one. She is a woman of color. She is beloved in our community. And her song, Joe Biden's campaign are smart. Her song with Megan Thee Stallion, WAP, I think it not broke a record, but maybe tied a record or something.
Yeah,
the first week out is already
multiple records. Actually.
Yeah, it broke records, and it's already number one in its first week. I mean, that does not happen. I'm telling you, that is rare for a song to be released. It usually takes several weeks for a song to go to number one. It's already number one, and she has 80 million Instagram followers. The Biden campaign knows how to reach because he's 77, she's 27. So, you know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. I would have done the same thing. And you know what I'm saying? I just hope that it won't be the last one. But
what's up, Daniel Dickey? He's checking in. How are you, brother? Glad to see you.
I would say this: what I don't want to happen, because you brought up Charlamagne the God. This is what I don't want to happen to my young millennials that's out there preparing to vote. Do not attach the person with the question. For example, what they did with Charlamagne the God was when Charlamagne the God was interviewing him, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you saw, oh, Charlamagne the God used to do this. They brought up everything from 4, 5, 12, 18 years ago about Charlamagne the God to try to dilute the fact that he was asking serious questions about the Black community. Right. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that happen to Cardi B, Cass. I don't want to see the slander come out. Well, she used to dance and curse and whatever. That's not what we're talking about, sir. See, we talking about this election. That's what it is. So I need everybody to be consciously aware, to stay focused. Do not go for the pump fake. Like me and King James say, they will give you that pump fake. Don't go for the pump fake.
And I like, I just I like that term pump fake, which is basically, you know what I'm saying, hip hop vernacular for the word subterfuge, because I love using that word subterfuge, and that is deliberately creating confusion through words and asking someone to do something, but doing it in such a vague, equivocating way that you're confused about what actually to do. Just like the mask. We are confused about to do with the mask because of high up. They're saying one thing, and the administration is saying one thing. The task force on COVID is saying another. That is subterfuge. It is deliberately creating confusion, and we are confused. The University of North Carolina just shut down. Why are we even opening up? They just shut down after the first day. How many times are we going to hear this story? Shut it down after the first day, and because of the spread of COVID. How many times we got to go through this scenario?
And that's why I made that point, because I noticed that I saw Twitter. Well, why Cardi? Somebody, it's always one person. Well, why was it Cardi B? Why? What right does she have to ask? And blah 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 blah. I'm like, well, did y'all watch it? First of all, like the subject.
And do you have access to him? That's the main question. Do you even have access to reach him and ask the questions or demand the things that you want?
Right. So you don't. So
basically they hating, ain't they, Cass?
I mean, it's just always, people just always have something to say. A lot of times it's negative, and it's not about the situation at hand.
And the thing about it, when you have 80 million, see, Megan Thee Stallion is the biggest star of the summer, and she only has like 10 million Instagram followers. Cardi B has 80 million.
Okay,
that's a lot of eyes to get your product on, and the product that Joe Biden is selling is the presidency of the White House. So he ain't dumb. He ain't dumb.
I agree with you. I think if more, and I'm just speaking for the millennials right now. I think if more of them saw, I remember when tell me if I'm wrong, Cass. I think Offset posted that he went and voted for the first time.
For the first time. Mm-hmm.
I think if young millennials see, if these celebrities, quote unquote, actually take the time to actually walk what they talking, if they walk
it like you're talking.
No, that's actually a good point, Romeo.
They'll get out there. I guarantee you they'll get out there. And it's sad.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. And I actually want to pull up a clip because 2 Chainz just recently did something where he was addressing people who have been incarcerated, and he was telling people about learning about your rights to vote in certain states after you served your time. So I want to find this clip because this is something that was really important. It was really descriptive. It had a lot of information in there for people who don't know, and he has this audience as well. So I definitely want to find that clip and show it because, like you said, it's people like this who are connected to the youth in our community, right, who they attach to and they will listen to.
They will listen for whatever reason, but they will listen. Megan Thee Stallion goes to vote. I guarantee you. Everybody who drove that boat all summer, King James and Munster D, them ladies going to vote. Like,
and I would like to see some. I would like to see some of the celebrities. Even if they got to gang up on the security, like Tekashi 6ix9ine does when he allegedly saluted. Allegedly saluted Nipsey Hussle the other day for 2 minutes. Don't even go back to that place, by the way. But even if they have to stand in line with 10 security guards to keep themselves safe, I would like to see them out there in the long lines getting ready to vote, to encourage, and then film themselves doing it to encourage other young people to get out there and vote.
Yeah.
And why it's important. It needs to be demonstrated. So I'm glad that Joe Biden spoke to Cardi B.
Oh, they got him. They got him. The system got him.
Well, I think we're going to pull up this video of 2 Chainz. If our producers have it up, it's 2 Chainz times When We All Vote. But I definitely want you guys to see this.
Well, as many peers, my age and where I'm from, have been either incarcerated maybe once or twice in our lifetime. And for those of you that have been through those unfortunate circumstances, I would like to notify you about some of the things and give you some real clarity about voting and your rights. So basically, it just depends on what state you live in. Each state has different laws, obviously. If you live in Maine, Vermont, or DC, you never actually lose your rights to vote, even while being incarcerated. And in at least 20.
I love it.
So it was very informative. He went and, spoke about different states and what rights you have according to state. So I thought this was really important thing that he's sharing, that he's speaking about, encouraging, his following, his community, his peers, to understand their rights, especially in a time like this when it comes to voting.
They watched it, Cass. I'm with you, Cass. I guarantee you they watched it because it was him saying it.
And just a lot of people don't know. That's the unfortunate thing. A lot of people who have been incarcerated, once they've served their time, they're unaware of their rights.
I think he was the one that even said that he didn't know for the longest time that he could vote until he went to look it up. And the information is easier than ever. It's right here on your cell phone. All you got to do is just click Google. And then if you can't find it out, you can at least find the number that you can call to find out. So.
Well, I think also, but Munson made a point 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. And we were talking about, the hip hop, like until millennials feel like it's cool. Like when me and Cass went and we voted for during the first term of Obama, at that point in time, like it felt right. You felt cool to vote. I think we lost that. And then Munson brought up a good point. Like with everybody in their different generations, people see it differently. But with the youth, you have to make it a want for them. Like, oh man, this is a thing that I need to do or have to do. Until you attach that to it, people are not going to get out there like they did for the Obama election. People are not going to support voting because, well, my vote doesn't count and my voice doesn't count and blah, 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 rah, rah, rah type stuff. But I do think what Cash just said, if more of the 2 Chainz, and it's sad, but I'm gonna go with the flow. If more of the 2 Chainz got out there and be like, hey, who coming with me to vote?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they'll get out there.
Yeah, like you bring your entourage to the polls to vote, and then you call so-and-so and tell him you bring your entourage to, like that's a movement. But I think we're going to go
real hard to meet people where they are. So you've got the first lady was clear to say, we want to show up in huge, undeniable numbers. I think it's a real tsunami of voters. So we want to reach everybody. Right. We want to reach those that you're not anticipating, because we need those who haven't voted, those who are qualified to register right now. So 2 Chainz outreach is disenfranchised voters, brothers who haven't got a brother that's reaching out to them. So this is a reach out for 2 Chainz, not only to educate, but just to love some brothers and say, hey, bro, a lot of us make mistakes, but that don't cancel you. Join this movement. And then if you heard the first lady last night, she said, let's show up in huge numbers. Let's make it undeniable. And the fact that we've got a beautiful, intelligent sister, Howard grad, coming. Come on, man. It's a beautiful moment. So the whole community has every reason to get involved. But you got to make sure you don't fall for the trickeration right now. It's the trickeration no excuses accepted. That's why she told all of us to bring your lunch, get ready to go, because you might see those individuals that are really working to dissuade us from showing up at the polls.
Yeah, they've already started, you know what I'm saying, with the birtherism of Kamala Harris, talking about her alleged illicit past, just bringing up all kinds of things to try to discourage people. And also they're basically disseminating a lot of information about wrong information in regards to her actual history as a prosecutor in the Bay Area, as well as a state attorney general. So basically they're doing the best thing that they can to try to discourage people from and dissuade people from voting. So they're already doing it. So like Romeo said, be aware of the pump fake, man.
I'm curious though. I know we got to move on to another, but I've always been curious, King James and Mr. Steve, who's more dangerous, women in voting? Is it the women voters or is it the first time voters? I've always wondered, like, who can sway the seesaw? Is it women voters or is it like the first time, I graduated from high school, those first time voters, I graduated from high school, my first year in college voters?
Well, to me, the most dangerous is the uneducated voter, the people who don't take the time. You got all the time in the world. There's no excuses right now. You can't really go anywhere. And even if you do, you can only go so many places. You have the time. You have ample time to do copious studying in regards to what is going on in this country. There's no excuse. The uneducated voter is the most dangerous one, because, I heard one person, one time, during 2015, 2016, but I like his morals and values when she was considering voting for the current president. Morals and value. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he speaks about God. I'm like, So the uneducated voter is very dangerous. I don't know what direction she went with that vote, but she was leaning towards her and not towards the other candidate. See, so the uneducated voter is the most dangerous. But
Munson, I'm curious.
Well, I think you good question, Romeo. I think the danger are those individuals that are registered that just don't vote. So you have the most dangerous person that could hurt us is the individual that stays home, is not has bought into the fraud, is bought into when you think of it, it really should wreck our souls that you have a musician who has influence, and we explained it away with mental illness, but he's suggesting to young millennials, I could be your president. Not even like on the horizon, not on the ticket. So the disinformation and fake news put out by hip hop people and brothers and sisters who just keep the question, does it really matter? It matters. You see Breonna Taylor, it matters. Your vote matters. if you're thinking about Breonna Taylor. I think the people that spin these spin doctors that question still in our community, that anybody who's trying to sabotage a person's movement, those are dangerous people because they make people repeat things and stay in their feelings about things that aren't real. They're fake. So when we have a whole information system coming from people who have millions of followers saying, well, you should vote for me. So then that person doesn't vote at all. That's a loss for our community. We've got to be united right now in a way that really moves. And that was more, at least what I heard from the First Lady, a moment. It's like, we got to show up so huge
Right.
that they recognize, and it's not just him. They recognize that all these swing states, Terry, that could possibly go. We could retake the Senate this year. So it's not just about the president, the vice president. It's every judge that we want a young brother not to see the wrong person. Somebody who has compassion. When she talked about empathy, Cass, and she used the emotion, you want somebody that's empathetic about people who, Romeo, are going to be unemployed still after COVID, for people who are going to need training, for people who are going to need a lot more concern and compassionate leadership. That's not what they've gotten. I mean, she sliced and diced that president so smoothly.
Right.
You thought you were watching some huge kung fu Bruce Lee come through, program where she just cut him up. And he was all cut to pieces with beautiful words and eloquently. He's just not qualified. He's just not up to the moment. He just can't show up high enough. I mean, she hit him so hard, you were like, woo, woo, woo. And she dealt with racism.
You was right. You're right. She did do it with the soft voice. It was so elegant. You was like, you're right. Okay.
Yeah. It was death by 1,000 cuts.
So you said, oh, my fault. I was saying, you're saying return voters and you're saying uneducated voters. Okay.
And people that are spewing fake news, because the thing we've got to understand is the lens. Like right now is not the moment to be negative at all.
Right.
Don't judge Cardi B. We got to get off the judgment moment. We can't, this ain't a judgment moment. We really got to, the task at hand is to win.
Right.
The win. That is your only focus. Anybody talking about Kanye, that's not a win. That's a loss. Do you think voting matters? You're a loser. Like we don't even want to be in your shenanigans of conversation. It don't work for you. It works for us.
Right.
When you think about a young brother serving time, I mean that's critical.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. It is a waste of time. I don't know, and these people are a waste. Diamond and Silk, are you aware of these people? People of this ilk who basically were the president's best friend and went to the White House and all that kind of stuff and basically became nationally famous. All of a sudden, they're on the outs. See, this is what happened with a person named Omarosa. When was the last time you heard her name? Omarosa. What was the last time you heard of a name of a singer who imprudently went to the inauguration and sang for the president? What's the last time? See, this is what I'm talking about. So, and she was a beautiful singer, beautiful, wonderful voice, beautiful woman. Now we got Diamond and Silk. Now the people that they clamored to get into the fold with, Fox News, now Diamond and Silk is accusing them of racism because they got fired. Because they were distributing false information. I mean, Cass, come get your girls. Come get your girls. Get your peoples. Get your peoples.
Oh, man.
Nah, they're not my peoples.
Leilani's tuning in. Eric Hobson from Detroit. I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in with us here at Rolling Out AM, the wake up call. So I'm with you, Romeo. I think the whole effort is to be admired, that there are individuals who are taking leadership as a part of their brand. This is probably the second or the third iteration that we've seen. As a movement, Chain came out with a song talking about, those streets. So we had that. We're able to see that. Education is part of everybody's voice. So you see it. Revolt's been doing a great job. They've been doing a great job just continuing the dialogue, continuing to educate. continuing the outreach. DJ Nice has done a wonderful job.
I can't let you do that, man. Rolling Out. The guys, I heard about this crew over there Rolling Out. Rolling Out's been doing a great job of getting the information out there. Plus the post with a purpose. I know y'all see the post with a purpose every day. So we're gonna add Rolling Out to that list because they've been doing great.
I think Romeo Rolling Out's doing a great job. I think Cass in the City. I look forward to it. I mean, we include ourselves, but in Black media brethren, we want to make sure we always shouting out. We have no doubt, have no fear of others at all. We can clap and applaud our whole brethren because we don't want people to feel that this is a individual game. We need Cardi B. We need anybody that will stand up right now to this. Like you sitting there, why he talking to you? No, Cass, he doesn't have that other person's phone number. And he's not interested in it. You don't bring anything to the table. Get to the table. Free our people. That's what we want to do. Free our people.
Joe Biden ain't calling me, so hey.
We're gonna call you. We're gonna participate. That's it. But we're just saying at the end of the day, don't hate on nobody else's moment. Everybody's make some moments. Create some beautiful moments. This has to be a win. We can't tolerate anything other than a win.
Facts.
Those are the facts. Move this process forward.
Man.
Cass, what is Howard doing? What are y'all over there doing? Are y'all raising money? I see all this beautiful movement with the ladies.
There is a lot of excitement. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, but I know there's a lot of excitement from HU alum that I've seen on Instagram. A lot of people encouraging support of her. So that's definitely what I've been seeing right now in this moment.
Shout out to my girl, Marcia Lashley from Atlanta, who I used to work with a long time ago back at the Atlanta Business Chronicle when I was ripping it down there at that newspaper. And she's tuning in on my watch party, through. So.
Eddie Hodges is checking you out too, Terry.
Oh, so you want to play that, Terry? Okay.
That's his. You see, he went and played it. Right?
All right. So shout out to Jessica Davis. Hold on. Let me look to my watch party. Shout out to Jessica Davis and shout out to at QRL Tracy on my watch party. Since you want to personally shout out your people. All right, fine.
Shout out to everybody. How about that? Shout out everybody who's tuned in, supporting us this morning, watching us. We appreciate you all for tuning in. It's no competition. We love y'all and we appreciate you.
Yeah, but I got more followers. It's not competition because there is no competition. He's not competition to me.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
But we're gonna make sure that everybody got that we posting with a purpose. Cass in the City, Mr. Steve, King James, Rolling Out AM to wake up on a Tuesday. Y'all made it to Tuesday. God, we're gonna get to Wednesday.
Up on a Tuesday. What's that song? I remember that song.
Oh, what was that Tuesday? Now you got it in my head too.
Going up on a Tuesday. McConan.
I was waiting for you to sing it.
No. I gave y'all a little bit, just enough.
Oh, Cass.
All right. Iris Baker say thank you, Cass. We love you also.
Love you
Hey.
too.
Iris Baker, Eric Hobson, Harold Demont. What's going on, everybody? So no, I think that's wonderful. We've got a whole situation going on, but it's really sad that everybody's having to mourn the loss of so many people in different ways. I mean, it's just a tough time for us. So do not be discouraged, no matter what you're going through at this moment. Do not be discouraged. It is important. So.
Yep. And I appreciate everybody's love and support last week. Me and Mr. Steve, we conversate all the time. It's a lot, man. The world is a lot right now. Like he just said, COVID and Agent Orange and everything. And you really gotta stay. You really gotta keep the faith. I was a plug.
Keep the faith.
really got to keep your faith and keep your head above water because we're losing people every day, and at a rapid rate. We're losing people every day at a rapid rate.
Trust in him, that's for sure. Yeah, definitely do that.
That was gonna be my next one. And you got to trust in him.
Trust in him.
That's when y'all supposed to drop it, producers. Y'all, you see, we gonna get them right.
Oh man,
we got a great guest coming up, man. Todd Anthony is gonna be checking in. We're gonna talk about his new film, Malcolm, on BET Plus, and we're excited about that. We're also excited about all our guests. So make sure you go to rollingout.com, click on to videos, and you can see all the past episodes, and you can see all the great stories that King James and Cass in the City writes. I think I was gonna get Cass, King James. I know for a fact she done let out a ski weed. Like, I know for a fact when she heard about her VP, tell the truth, Cass, you did one ski week. You did at least one.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Cass.
Oh, I was having some issues hearing y'all. I couldn't hear for a second. I just saw your mouths moving. But I was definitely excited, for sure.
Did you let out a HU or a ski weed? You did one of them.
I mean, in my head, maybe I didn't do it out loud, but I'm definitely like, shout out. I give credit where it's due. It's exciting.
Yeah, she's got to be, she did. She has to be debonair now because she's got the cascade going. She's got the sunlight cascading going. You know what I'm saying? So she can't, she can't let everybody know. She did some backflips in her house. She did.
Not backflips.
Right.
If I hit a backflip, I might be in the hospital.
She had that one HU. I know she went outside, just threw it out there. It's okay.
Did you hear me?
But here's the thing that what I'm saying. I just find it just kind of incredible that that we're trying to protect people and prevent further what most people call murders with no knock warrants. And of course, the police union is blasting the Kentucky's decision to ban the Louisville Police Department from busting in people's houses in the middle of the night on a no-knock warrant. So the police union, or the Kentucky Police Union, is upset. Now, we know that with Breonna Taylor, not only did they bust into the wrong home, but they didn't find any of the products that they were looking for. And one person ended up dead, and even a cop got shot. So one person dead, one person shot, no evidence of any crime, no drugs. So it wasn't even worth it. And then they lied on the police report. And then when they filled out the report, it was empty. So it's just shady. So therefore, banning it is the best thing until y'all can come up with a better way to do these kinds of warrants, if at all, in the future. So of course they're gonna, and we know what that police union is probably going to do, because the NYPD has already announced who they're voting for, because they like having that. They like having the parameters expanded to be able to do, stop and frisk and put their knee in your neck. And, in the case of Eric Garner, they put you in a chokehold. They like being able to do that. So, yeah, it's just a sad situation right now.
That's such great policing, Terry. When you have those rights, those are the tools that kill people. And you need those when you're thinking about policing. I guess that's what they're saying, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, well, they say it's necessary. But it's sad. It's really sad that we have to go to those measures. But I'm glad that they went ahead and banned it. But now it's time to go ahead and indict somebody. There need to be some charges.
What
is the problem? Yeah, there need to be some charges on Breonna Taylor. What is going on? It was back in February, March. It's August. Matter of fact, we halfway through the month, man. We almost in September. What else do you need to investigate? What other piece of evidence don't you have? What rationale do you have? And the dude's not even talking to the Attorney General, who, of course, is the first Black Attorney General in state history. He ain't got nothing to say because he backs police. He backs and supports police unions. He has backed Mitch McConnell, the arch conservative, anti-Black representative in Congress. So we know where he's at. And then he took time off to get engaged. See, usually when you have something of supreme importance, you put personal things aside. You postpone personal things to get the business of the people done. But he took time off to get engaged. And we've all seen that picture.
Not married, but engaged.
Engaged. He had an engagement party. He took time off. So that's just I got a problem with that. That's just a problem for me. That's a problem.
Man, at this point in time, y'all might as well get the Scooby-Doo gang, because clearly y'all can't solve nothing. They solved a whole thriller in 30 minutes, Cass. They found a ghost. Like, y'all can't even find. Come on, man.
All right.
Our guest is here, man. Hailing all the way from, I don't know what side of town he on, but he hailing from there. And you know what? I'm gonna make this statement, Cass and King J. This is my new partner, man. This is my partner now, man. Todd Anthony is in the building, man. Hey, welcome back.
What's up, man? Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. I'm in LA, 6 a.m. in the morning.
Hailing from the West Coast.
Yeah. How y'all feel?
Good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the show.
I'm great.
Hey, man, it's Tuesday. That's what I'm going with right now, and just sticking with it. Just Tuesday.
Right.
Before we get to the business, man, we was talking earlier. How are you feeling about this election coming up? How do you feel about your VP?
I'm excited, man. I think it's an opportunity for you have African American woman to come in and really put her stamp on American history. So it's gonna be interesting. At the same time, I'm like, America, just vote. Because it could be tricky, you know what I mean? Like I'm hoping that we get out there and actually do our job. So, right. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the election.
Now, I'm glad you said it, because it seems like people keep adding adjectives to vote. It's either, well, you know what, I feel like, or, well, last time I voted, are you going to go or not? Like,
right. That's all you got to do is show up. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
But, you getting ready. Well, it's already out on BET Plus, man. I actually got to catch a glimpse of it. The new film, Malcolm.
Yes.
Tell us about that, man.
Malcolm was a film that I wrote and produced actually last year. And it's a short film, 15 minutes. And we dealt with the idea of, I felt like, not that there's not leaders today, but I felt like there's not leaders like there were back then that we follow. Yeah. You know what I mean? That we really deem we following this person. And I said, you know what? I want to take Malcolm and put him in right now in today's society. And what would he say in this moment of 2000, at the time it was 2019, but the message, I just watched it last night again. It's like, it's for right now. It was made for this upcoming election. And so that's what we deal with. So he's in 2019 and he talks about a lot that goes on today. Not only with police brutality and the election, but also what happens in our own community with each other. Yeah.
That's definitely very powerful, because we have conversation all the time about there being no center leader, like this people's champ that we all like turn to. We were talking about Michelle Obama last night, and obviously her and Barack, they're leaders in our community. We look to them, we love them, and we respect them, because they were obviously the first Black family. But, right now in this moment, a young leader is something I think we definitely need, especially with this Black Lives Matter movement. But I wanted to ask you, so you mentioned this is 15 minutes. Why did you go with that time frame as opposed to longer? Did you feel it was more impactful in a short span, or, just tell us a little bit about, that production and choosing that time frame.
It's Actually, as I was writing, it was actually shorter than that. I was writing and I just felt like I was going to write until I felt like Malcolm finished speaking. So it wasn't real. I didn't really decide to choose the time frame. We shot that film. The first day we actually shot 2 days prior to Nipsey Hussle being murdered. And there's a little section in there where I addressed that as well, but we didn't even have any of that in there. And so when that happened, we actually got shut down our first day. And then when that happened on that Sunday, we went back in and finished Wednesday, and I just wrote a whole nother excerpt to put in there about Nipsey and our community. So it was kind of ironic that even happened, and that how Nipsey had a connection with Malcolm. It was eerie in the same way, but unfortunate that it happened. But that's how the time even came about. It was just, I just wanted to write until I felt like, okay, he's done this interview. He's done speaking at this moment.
Making. I just realized something you said. Making Malcolm current today, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of scary. Now that I think about it, and let me explain the scary part. Because I'm thinking of Malcolm and Martin then, right? And the way you approach the role to make it understanding and relevant and current. Could there be a Malcolm? Like, could Malcolm be in 2020? I'm trying to process. Like, could Malcolm and Martin be in 2020 with the way 2020 is? Because you said there's no face attached to you, and I agree with you on that. We have leaders, but there's no visual face attached to. Oh, so and so said we going to march today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not no overall face for everybody.
Right.
Could there be a Malcolm today?
I think there can be. I just think that we've grown so far as a community, but there are a lot of things that I think have tainted us, meaning when it comes to, I guess, being the face of something, then you have money that comes into play, you have politics, you have fame, and we've gotten so far removed from what's important that those things tend to taint when somebody actually starts to hint on that role or hint on being the face of something. And I think we've seen it where, cats start to step up and they become vocal, but who knows what happens behind closed doors or behind the scenes where they start to kind of fade out because maybe what they're saying is starting to offend somebody or starting to taint their career. You know what I mean? So I think that it can be, but we can't worry about, I guess, our how we're gonna look. You just got to be on the right. It's kind of like what Kaepernick did, right? He's probably the closest thing to saying, I don't really care about my personal needs and wants right now because there's a greater issue at hand. He's the closest thing to someone sacrificing something. And that's the difference between Malcolm Martin, those leaders, Medgar Evers, those leaders back then to the leaders we have today, in my opinion.
No, that's a
good point.
That's a hard statement.
Because they weren't even going into it seeking to be these, like it wasn't they were seeking this fame and this credit. They were just trying to be impactful, and they were young at the time.
Exactly.
They would never have imagined they would be as impactful as they were. So that's real. A lot of people might go into it for the wrong reason, but I can definitely see Kaepernick is like, it doesn't matter. Like, I've lost it all,
Yeah.
And I'm still.
And he's still here.
Yeah, but also to give you credit, Todd, the point that you made about Kaepernick, I think now people are like Malcolm, people are forced into it. Like the NBA, they had to speak out. Like 70% of your athletes are black.
Right.
The NFL was forced. You got to speak out. 60% of your athletes, like Like, I think it's funny that you said that, because now what popped up in my head was people, what Cassidy said, people didn't want to be put in that position, just like how today people didn't want to be put in that position, but now it's more of a, you have to be in a position now because you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. It's and the thing is, this is what my main point in this piece is, we have to realize really just how much power we have. Meaning, it's like, if you take let's just say if you take all of the stars out of the NBA and they just said, we're just going to start a league, the NBA would crumble. The same thing with the NFL. The same thing with music. If what Jay-Z said, with him starting, a Tidal. It's like, if we really put everything into our own resources, it's self-explanatory. Ice Cube's trying to do it with the big three. It's like, if every cat say, we're gonna go join Ice Cube's basketball league, there would be no NBA. So, but for some reason, I don't know what the reason is, we do not bet on ourselves as much as we should, in my opinion. I think we're starting to see it more with everything that's going on in this, and it's unfortunate that sometimes there has to be a sacrificial lamb for eyes to be open, but maybe that's what it needed to be for us to start to realize just our value and how important we are, and how important we are to one another.
Nah, that's a power shift right there. No, you're absolutely right. Like, that right. Like you said, if those stars said no, like even with the football season coming up, if those football players said no, we're not playing. All those celebrity football said no, we're not playing. What are you gonna do? Like, we got a choice.
We're not performing at the Grammys. We're gonna do our own. We're gonna do our own award show with all of us stars. With the Beyoncé's, Rihanna's, the Chris Browns, everybody's gonna do that. We're gonna do our own thing, and all the artists, we're gonna fund it.
You better call the boy. Did you learn anything? Did you knew about yourself during?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Did you learn anything new? And I'm sorry, Cass and King Jane. Did you learn anything new about yourself when you were writing this piece? Like, did it open up or unlock something new within you?
Yeah, it did. I learned that those whose shoulders I stand on are actually really deep rooted in me, more than I thought. Because initially it was just I've always had kind of a connection with Malcolm. And at first it was just, I had recently played him in a play, and I thought that's what it was all that's all it was going to be. And as he sat with me, I was like, I'm not ready to let him go. So what do I do? And that's when I said, I need to figure out what to say. I have something to say, but my name is climbing, but it's not at the point where people are going to say, let me sit down and actually listen to what this brother has to say. So it was like, well, let Malcolm say it, because people will respect and also say, wow, if there is a leader, and you'll see even at the end of the piece, he leaves, a question and without even asking, of saying, who's next? Who's going to be that person that says, yo, what are we doing as a community? And then what are you doing to us, America, as well? Who's gonna so I learned that, man, I there's some deep rooted leadership skills in me that that I have to exercise. I can't sit on it. I can't be quiet. And I'm always willing to speak up on what's right, what's wrong, whether it's against Black, whether it's against white, whether it's against Asian. I'm always going to speak up of what's right and what's wrong, because at the end of the day, I am an African-American man. I'm always going to address those issues, but I'm also going to address human issues as well. So that's what I learned, that that's just in me. That's who I am.
Thanks. Man, I appreciate you checking in this AM, man. Did y'all want to jump some in for my man get out of here?
Oh, no. Actually, we need to go ahead and move on to our next guest at this particular juncture. So we like to thank Todd for coming on. Appreciate you. Much love to you and your situation.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me on again. And please, when you get a chance, go on BT Plus and check out my.
I definitely will be.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Check
absolutely.
it out.
Absolutely.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah, moving on from BET to sports. This is my favorite subject for all the sports lovers. We know who our next guest is because he was sitting there starring on ESPN. He's a two-time Emmy Award-winning sports reporter, and he is engaged to, of course, Cynthia Bailey of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But he said even at the apex of his professional success, he went through some turbulence, and that's what he's talking about in his new book, Open Mic. So at this particular juncture, we'd like to welcome Mr. Mike Hill to the show. Welcome to the show, Mr. Hill.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing this morning?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Boy, yes. Man. What up, Mike?
What's up, man?
Yes, first of all, I'd like to compliment you on your very expansive background there. So I see you got a lot of books. You got a lot going on back there.
Yeah, man, the book comes out tomorrow, Open Mic, and I'll explain the cover a little bit later because I ain't want to shock too many people. Everybody like, oh, what's he trying to do? No. It's got some meaning behind the cover, but yeah, it was like, this is my memoirs. A lot of the things that people see me, like you see me on ESPN or on Fox or on Fox Soul or whatnot, and they see this image of me, man, but there was like a lot of stuff that was behind a mask I was putting out for so many years. A lot of trauma, a lot of pain, a lot of depression, a lot of stuff that I was going through in my life that I was put through, and a lot of things that I put a lot of people through, man. So I wanted to just put it in an open mic, be very transparent, and tell the world about some of the difficulties I've had in my life and how I was able to overcome those difficulties so that I can try and help other people do the same thing if I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, first of all, you were talking about how does movie, because it plays out like a movie, but how does book was like cathartic for you, and it was very therapeutic. And you say that the book kind of like saved your life. What do you mean when you say that?
It did, because I had so much that was on the inside of me that, as Black men, a lot of times we suppress things for so long. We just go through things. We just deal with it. We always say, man, just man up. Don't talk to anybody about that type of stuff. So when I was about 47 years old, I'll be 50 tomorrow. When I was 47 years old, I was going through so much in my life that I didn't even realize I was hurting so much, because I was living a lifestyle, pretending to be so happy, personally, professionally. My life was doing well for itself. I was in the streets, so I was dating, I was doing some great things even before Cynthia, so that was cool. But on the inside, I was really burning up. I was hurting. And as I started writing this book, I realized that I had a lot of stuff that I had just suppressed for so many years, that I had buried, that I need to let out of me, that if I hadn't let out of me, that it possibly could have killed me, because I was really crying. I was hurting. I was really, there was a lot of pain that I was feeling. It was almost like a cancer that was growing inside of me. So when I started writing, it became cathartic. It became that therapy for me. And I just started feeling a lot lighter. So I really feel like if I wouldn't have written that book at that particular time, that, I could have stressed out. I could have died from a stroke. I could have died from a heart attack, because I wasn't able to let all the misery and all the pain that I had inside of me out.
Romeo, Cass?
Well, I definitely, happy early birthday to you. Celebrating tomorrow. This is a milestone for you. 50 is a big year for everyone. And then with the release of this book, you've seen a lot of things, you've experienced a lot in your life. What advice would you give to your younger self reflecting at this moment?
The advice I would give to my younger self is to go and get help a lot sooner. One of the things I want to advocate with this book is the importance of mental therapy, and especially in the Black community. You got to understand that even if you don't think that you're going through a lot of stuff, when you're Black, especially a Black man in society right now, just think about it. All the stuff, all the trauma, all the pain, everybody, that's what we've gone through over the last 6 or 7 months, not just with the coronavirus being stuck inside, but the police brutality, the things that you're seeing on television. But as a Black person, as a Black man, as a Black woman, we have had to deal with this our entire lives, but we just dealt with it. And we just felt like, oh, this is just normal. It's what we got to deal with. So we'll march, we'll scream, we'll yell or whatever, but we never completely get all of the anger or the sadness or the depression out. So what I would have told myself at a younger age is, you know what, stop putting on this mask and stop acting like you're such a tough guy, because you know that deep down inside that you got some misery, that you got some pain, that you got some hurt that you got to let go. So you need to go and find somebody to talk to. And that is one of the things that we don't do as Black men. We are afraid to go and ask for help because we look at it as a sign for weakness. So as a sign of weakness. So instead of manning up, I'm telling people, stop manning up, because if you're not, you're going to be man down, 6 feet down, if you don't get it soon enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that trauma, you know, people don't realize, but you pass trauma on, you know?
Yes.
The trauma that you're experiencing, you pass on to your kids, you pass on to your other family members. So that's real. That's a great message.
And that's a good point. And that's why I put it in here, because it didn't just affect me. It affected my marriages, affected my relationships with my kids. It affected my professional relationships. So, you know, I'm not just talking about just the personal issues, but also professionally too, and see how I was able to navigate and get from where I was starting out in the military to rise to ESPN, and all the stuff I went through while I was at ESPN, some of the racism that you deal with in this broadcast industry. I'm just exposing it all. So I'm putting it all out there, like I said, on the open mic.
Man, Cass, King James, let me tell y'all how far Mike is, man. Cause that's my partner, man. Mike gave a young intern long time ago some great advice. Me, he didn't have to. Recently, like a month ago, I got to talk to him and his fiance. And after the interview, the man slid in my DMs and said, "Hey, young brother, great job. He didn't have to." Hey, man, this man is so dope. And my question to that point is, you brought up the fact that what you would tell your younger self. You know, me and Cass talk all the time. So to have a hard reality check, the younger self today, man, is difficult. Like is COVID, is the laws, is the president, is this, is that. It's like the pressure now is so like you feel it. Like before, I think people like, oh, I'm under pressure, but now you feel the pressure. Like how do you find encouragement for people when everywhere you look, there's nothing encouraging? Not trying to be like there's nothing encouraging.
No, I get it, man. It's we're going through very tough times, right? But think about this, Romeo. We are Black men. We are very resilient. We as Black people are very resilient. We've gone through the peaks and the valleys in life, man. We've gone through so much in this world. And right now, yes, there are certain things that we've never gone through in our lives because we've never experienced a pandemic, man. But the thing is, when you have belief in yourself, when you are whole and you know who you are, and first of all, I don't know if you have a higher spiritual belief, but I have a very high spiritual belief. I believe in God, even though sometimes I don't act like it. You know, God ain't done with me yet. God ain't done with me yet, but you know, I'm a sinner, but at the same time, I'm trying to get there.
He's working on you. He's working on you.
Working on me. But at the same time, I know where my strength comes from. I know how my steps have already been pre-ordered by God. So I know that one of the things that God has always said to us is that he will never leave nor forsake us, nor give us more than we can handle. So when I look at that and I put that all in perspective, I know that I'm a resilient person in the flesh, but in my mind, that's the strongest thing that I have going for me is my mind. You will never be able to take my mind. You will never be able to take my happiness. You will never be able to take my joy. I've had that happen to me in the past, but once I got my help, my therapy, and I really became full and whole and realize who I am and have that confidence, not necessarily the cockiness, but the confidence in who I am, and know that every day that I wake up, I have an opportunity to make a difference, not only in my life, but in somebody else's life and in this world. And as long as I have that confidence in myself and I know God's got me, I ain't worried about anything else this world or any man tries to bring to me, because it's going to be handled and it's going to be conquered.
Thanks.
Yeah, I devoured the tales of your upbringing. Even before the book came out, I was reading about your story about people would be shocked to see where you came from. I mean, it was just like, woo! And none of that shows on your countenance. You know what I'm saying? You were able to camouflage where you came from and the extreme pain that you were going through and how you tried to self-medicate with different products. But yeah, go ahead and talk about, you know, what you came from and how it's led you and to today, to be the man that you are today.
And you know what's crazy is about that when you say, you know, how I was able to camouflage and mask it, you know, I was the good and the bad. The good thing about it is I was able to mask it and I was able to do it in my career, so you could never tell on air that this brother's going through something. You know, professionally, I was always going to be the happy-go-lucky guy, trying to bring entertainment, trying to bring some kind of information to you. So that's,
you had me fooled. You had me fooled.
I had a lot of people fooled. I had a lot of people that I lived with, a lot of my friends fooled too, because I could never be that person that would show that I was hurting, because I never wanted to show that sign of weakness. When, you know, Romeo asked me early on what I've done, or Cass asked me what I've done, you know, like I said, I would have come out to some friends early and say, look, man, you know, I know I'm putting on this front. I know that, you know, I look like I'm happy and I'm strong or whatever, but I need somebody to talk to. I need to cry. And I was told at an early age, you know, no more tears, no more crying or whatnot. And that stuck with me for so long or whatever. So those were part of the traumas or whatnot. But I was able to put on that mask. But once I was able to take that mask off, man, it just made my life so much better. But you talked about, you know, like the domestic violence I saw growing up, finding out my dad was, you'll see in reading the book, was a hitman. You know, why I couldn't fall in love with certain people, whatever, the racism and all that type of stuff that I had to go through in life, seeing my best friend killed in a drive-by shooting, having guns put on my chest, you know, several times before I was 18 years old, all these different traumas. So people see that. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to put it out there, because there was this image of Mike Hill. Oh, he's clean cut. He could be a little corny or whatever, but man, you have no idea the stuff that I had to go through in my life and the things that I had to see and the things that I put other people through that affected them. So I've apologized to them and I'm apologizing to myself, and I'm putting it out. And that's why I say when I turn 50 years old, it's a rebirth for me, because I'm moving forward. I've apologized to the people I need to apologize to, and I'm apologizing to myself. And I know that, you know, the next 20, 25 years of my life is going to be so much better, and I'm going to be able to bring positive change and effect to everybody else that I come in contact with.
Yeah, because of what you have gone through, it's kind of surprising to see that you are so ready to step out and comfortable being back out in the spotlight as you are, being on one of the most popular reality shows in America, the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yeah. It seemed like it's been a seamless transition back into the national spotlight. That wasn't hard for you?
Nah, it wasn't hard. I mean, like, my baby Cynthia, we about to get married, hopefully in October.
Cynthia Bailey, everybody. Cynthia Bailey.
Looking good, brother.
I did all right, didn't I? I did all right. She's, blessed. See what being a good dude gets you, man.
Congratulations.
Doing it the right way, but even with Cynthia, I had to come in her life at the right time. She had to come in mine at the right time, because if she would have met 4 years ago, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't matter. She even said, because she wrote the foreword, she said, if I wouldn't have written this book, we wouldn't be together right now. So all that comes in it. But the spotlight, being on Real Housewives of Atlanta, helped, because I had already been doing national television for like 15, 16 years prior to that or whatnot. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was a different audience. Let me tell you right now.
Very different.
Sports fans are crazy. Housewives fans, it's a different species. Let me just say it that way. You got to have a thick skin. I'm talking about rhinoceros skin, in order to deal with that. But I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? So as long as I'm on the show and, she looks at it and says it's part of my show as well, I'm part of my journey, and there to, be there, be her man and support her. I have no problem with it whatsoever. But it's, I think writing the book and being transparent actually helps me on the show too, because y'all ain't digging up Jack on me. I'm already unburying all the bones, so you ain't got to find nothing on me. I'm telling you right now, I got it.
Hey, Cass, King James, Cass, the coldest line this man said when we was talking, and he was with his wife, his fiance. He said, hey, I don't get in Cynthia's business. Cynthia can handle herself. She can do whatever she with the show. But don't think for a second that she alone. I will light your ass up. He said that. He didn't say it like that, but I know he was like, don't think for a second that she by herself out here in these streets. I'm standing right beside her and handling while she's handling her business. I was like, yeah, bro, that's what I'm talking about. I need help. I I
You
need
can't
that.
jump in a woman's business. You know, I know to stay out of a woman's business. She can handle it. She can handle it. And believe me, Cynthia ain't no punk. You know, a lot of people look at it and say that, you know, she's quiet and nice and all that type of stuff. But one thing about Cynthia, she ain't no punk. She's from Alabama. She's straight up country. She's the nicest, sweetest person you'll ever meet. But, you know, when you put her in that corner, man, she will come out swinging, kicking, doing all that type of stuff, whatever she needs to do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, she will get into you. But at the same time, I'm gonna let her handle her business when she's on that show, those women. But at the same time, when she needs me, I'm there for her in every way possible, by any means necessary.
I know that's right. I know that's right. I don't know if Cass had one more question, but I wanted to ask, without giving it away, what is it that you want or hope or reasonably hope that the readers, because I got to get this book, get out of this and come away with and maybe even learn about themselves?
I hope they can see a little bit of themselves in some of the pain and some of the stuff that I've gone through. I say I put this out. I want people to see my pain so that they can heal. You know, I want you to heal from my pain. So when you see that you're not alone, because people look and say, well, you know, he can't, you know, he ain't going through anything. Look, he's got this great life or whatever, because we put this facade out there on Instagram, social media, and all that type of stuff. We always talk about the good. We never talk about the bad. I want to put the bad out there so you can say, you know what, man, Mike went through that. Man, this is how he was able to overcome. I don't want people just to look at the transgressions. I want you to look at the transformation and say, if he is able to do it, I can do it. And if he went and got help and he's advocating you go and get that mental therapy, maybe I need to talk to somebody. And so if I can reach a couple of people doing that, then I've done my job.
That's what's up. Mr. Steve, did you have anything that you wanted to ask Mr. Hill?
No, Mike, I'm going to reach out for you so we can bring you on the show. Looking forward to having your book on blacksbookstore.com coming soon. Shout out to the wife. But for any time a brother can unveil his soul to other brothers, I think I just commendable, brother, just to give us a chance, you know, that transformation is so key to all of us being able to love each other. So big ups to that. Just the honesty, the vulnerability, and understanding that, you know, people will find clarity. So I really look forward to the book, but just support you, brother, in what you're doing. Just continuing to, you know, share with us that, you know, we can move forward as men. So we need it, and we appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Can I explain the cover real quick? Because I know.
Yes, please explain it. Explain it, bro. Explain it, man.
It is. There's symbolism in the cover. It ain't just because, you know, a brother was in the gym. Yeah, obviously, I still ain't a finished product. You know what I mean? The brother, I'm like playing a game of spades. I got a 4 and a possible. You know what I mean? When it comes to the hand. And I ain't reneging on that.
Right.
The reason I wanted to put it in black and white is because you see me coming out of the shadows. I'm coming out of my darkness into my light. I'm naked on the cover because the most vulnerable that you can actually be is being a naked person, you know? So I'm giving you the naked truth. I'm being very transparent, being honest. My head is slightly down because I've been humble and I'm ashamed of where I've come from, but I'm looking forward to where I'm going. You see the chains around my neck, or the ropes around my neck, they're around my body. That's like the chains that's been bonding me for so long, right? So that's the front cover. The back cover, obviously, you know, it's a little lighter because I'm stepping into my light now. My head is up. I got a woman who got my back, and she's putting her hands around me, and she's wrapping her hands around me like the arms of God. And she's also always in my ear, giving me the great and right advice at the right time. So that's my, hopefully, end of my chapters and continue my chapters on at the end of the book. But that's why I wanted to explain the covers for you guys real quick.
That's great symbolism.
No, that's beautiful. That explanation is beautiful. Before you get off, wanted to find out where people can obviously get the book, and also, are you open to people contacting you? Do you interact with your audience on social media, and where can they reach you at if you are?
Oh, absolutely. Always hit me at It's Mike Hill, ITS Mike Hill on Instagram and on Twitter. And you can get the book on Amazon.com, Barnes and Nobles, BAM, Target, anywhere books are sold. This book is being sold, written by a black man, obviously, a black publishing company. 13th and Joan is the publishing company and whatnot. So, and also my publicist, I got to give a shout out to Keita, the publicist diva, my baby. I love her to death.
But I gotta give you. I know you gotta go. I gotta give him his flowers, man. Mike, you do stuff that you don't have to do, and I'm just speaking for me. For this young brother right here, You do stuff that you don't have to do, and I appreciate you and Cynthia so freaking much, man. So
Let me tell you
much.
something. You say I have to do it. It is my obligation to do it because somebody did it for me. So I have to pass it on to somebody else. So what I ask you to do is like when you say, what can you do for me? I ask you to do the same thing that I've done for you. If I've helped you in some kind of way, please pass it on to another young brother or anybody that you feel like is trying to come on and do the same things and walk in your footsteps and do it the right way. So that's all I ask in return.
Wow. Wow. The book is open, Mike, and you just dropped the mic. So, so thank you very much for blessing us with your presence and your story and being transparent. Thank you very much for coming on. God bless you and, the upcoming wedding and everything else that's going on in your life. Thank you very much for being on.
Thank you so much for having me. God bless you guys.
God bless you.
Take care.
All right, take care.
All right, bye.
Hey, Cynthia. I just joking.
Bye.
And right now we have another prestigious guest on, and I yield the floor to Romeo and Cass in the city.
Yes, Imani Lauren is joining us this morning. She's a saxophonist. Super excited to have you. Hey, Imani.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Doing good. Yes, I'm doing good.
Good. So we definitely going to talk about everything you're doing. You're a female saxophonist and you're killing it. I follow you on Instagram and I've seen some of the things that you can do, but just tell us, how did you get into playing the saxophone? Who introduced you, because a lot of women aren't, seen playing the saxophone. So what was the inspiration for you?
Yeah. Before you begin, is it possible to turn your camera so you're wide angled?
Not really. My setup is kind of.
Oh, okay, that's okay because we just wanted to drink. We just wanted to drink in all of your essence and power. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But please tell us about yourself and introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay, I will. Well, like she said, Imani Loren, aka Sax Bay. But to answer your question, long story short, I attended a semester at Lincoln University. Just one. I was kind of in and out. So during that semester, I took away the saxophone. That was one of the biggest things that I took away from that chapter in my life. So I kind of was a person that didn't really party much. I would, stay to myself really. So one night, bored out of my mind, I decided to go to a jazz concert in the auditorium. And I saw this guy stand up on the alto sax and he did his thing, he killed it. But then this guy stood up on the tenor sax and I was like, whoa, wait a second. So that made me rush home to my mom and my grandmom. And I was like, this is what I need. I don't need an alto. I don't need a baritone. I need a tenor sax ASAP. And my grandmother, it was around fall time and she just bought me one for Christmas, and that's how I got started and taught myself.
So you're self-taught. Oh wow, yeah. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And so you release these kind of mixtapes, where you're playing covers and different things like that, called sax tapes. And you just released your second sax tape to July 12th. Tell us a little bit about that, where it is and where people can connect to that.
Well, the sax tapes are just mainly, most of my covers that I've posted throughout the years of me just getting started. And, people ask for it so much, I want this on iTunes. I want this on Spotify. I could listen to this, I could make a playlist, morning run, things like that. So I just wanted to put together a body of work just for, my supporters and my fans. You can find both of them on SoundCloud, and then that's really what I was trying to achieve with that. So
I'm not falling for this quiet act that you got going on. I'm not falling for it. So I'm about to get you. So I was listening. I follow you too. I was listening to one of your creations that you made for me, the Usher remix of "Can You Handle It," the one that you made and stuff like that. Right. what I want to know is though, like I love your work, but what stands out the most is you found what you love and you had a passion for it, but you made it cool. And I think what happens with a lot of millennials and younger people, they don't get to see people who look like them. Women don't get to see people who look like them that make something cool. Like when you were creating yourself or when you were becoming into yourself as this musician, did you have a structure? Did you, or did it just come to you naturally?
I would say more so naturally, because I had no type of, structure in that way. I mean, I have abundance of great influence as far as, the women in my life. But just as far as me shaping who I am, which I'm still doing today, it's just, kind of just me doing me, really.
Gotcha.
I'm loving this. You know what I'm saying? I'm loving this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like you, Romeo. You know what I'm saying? This soft, demure, shy. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You know what I'm saying? I'm not falling for. No, I'm not Eddie Murphy. I'm not falling for it. Now,
let loose.
This is beautiful that we're seeing this because of the fact that, a couple of weeks ago we interviewed a trumpeter, Tiffany Good, and she's one of the few women that I've really, sadly, have ever seen on the jazz scene. And so this is just beautiful to see. That's one of the things I love about doing this show. We're able to, basically showcase what the possibility are and raise the low level of ceiling of possibility that young women, young girls have. And you are doing it. You're exemplifying that just by standing here and talking to us about what you can do. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not Lieutenant Bogomil. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You know what I'm saying? I know you saw that scene. I'm not the one. So, you can act shy all you want to, but I know that you know how to act out, especially when you get on stage. So when you get on stage.
Now, of course, I think most of the time when I get on stage, almost like a different side of me comes out. 9 times out of 10, this is me kind of cool, laid back, which I'm trying to, break out of. But when I'm on stage, I don't know. Once I get a certain reaction from the crowd, it's just like, oh, it's go time. And
it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
So I definitely want you to play a little something because I want people to experience it. So if you could play a little something for us, we would love that.
Of course, of course. I want to say, to you guys too, thank you for having me, because this is like a, a special moment for female, musicians. So
thank you. You about to bless us. What you talking about?
Yeah, well, what you talking about? What you talking about?
About to bless us.
Know me now, because I got them big breasts.
Yeah.
Hey,
awesome.
Hey, that's fire. Hey, that's fire.
I'm so glad, Imani. I'm so glad you played that. We're running out of time. I'm so sorry that we are. But you played Roddy Ricch, and I love that you play, outside of classical music, you can play these covers and, songs that are relevant and current. Just tell us before, because we have a segment at the end of our show that we're about to do called Positive Thoughts. But before we get into that, what was it like? Because you actually had the opportunity to perform with Roddy Ricch.
Yes.
So what was that like for you?
It was, I think the best word is just, I don't even know. It was a lot of different feelings in one, just because I've, performed with somebody famous before, but that was just like a lot, in a good way. I was just, excited, a little overwhelmed, a little nervous, but just getting up there and, getting on stage with him was just a blessing, really. Like, I had a lot of fun for sure.
That's awesome. Well, we love and appreciate you for coming on. You did your thing, like I said, I follow you. I love your covers. Before we get into positive thoughts, where can people follow you so they can hear the different covers you do? Because you're being a little shy, I know, on here. But when they go on your Instagram, they can see all your covers. Where can they follow you?
Yeah. Definitely Imani Loren, IMANILAUREN, 2 N's. That's my Twitter handle, Instagram handle. And as far as the sex tapes go, you guys can get that on SoundCloud at the same handle. So.
I mean, that was beautiful. I thought I was watching Mo Better Blues for a minute there. You know what I'm saying? I was just like
King James, I was about to sing. I was waiting for her to cue me in. I was about to just I didn't know where she wanted to go with it.
Okay. We both fighting. We both fighting over you. You know what I'm saying? Let us get ourselves together.
Yeah, okay.
My name is Sergeant Rosewood, and that's Detective Taggart. We're the people in Beverly Hills Cop. You know what I'm saying? So what we're trying to do, I want to know what it's like, because I love seeing people live their dreams. You know what I'm saying? Living their truth. And what is that magical feeling is like? Because I know what it's like when I first discovered journalism. It was almost like I was shot out of a rocket. I remember that to this day. What is that feeling like when you get on stage, especially when you first got on stage and you were able to unveil what was deeply inside your soul, in the crevices of your soul?
Amazing. And like the shortest word I can give you, just, I don't know. I think that's like, one of the best things for me, and the feeling of just inspiring others is just like beyond me. Like when I get messages like, oh, you've inspired me to pick up my sex, and just, it's been like 40 years, but I'm getting ready to pick it up and try again. So, stuff like that just blows my mind. So.
That's a blessing, definitely.
All right, go ahead, Romeo. I mean, what I'm saying? We were tripping over each other. Go ahead.
My whole thing is the fact that, and I'm glad Cass brought you on. The fact of not only your accomplishments, but your approach. Like I'm watching you, right? Because I follow you. I just want to let you know I was following you first before Eric.
I'm following her now.
I was following her first. Your approach to music is genuine. If you can get what I'm saying, because even me as a DJ, you see artists who approach music, and it's not a love, it's not a passion, it's just something. Yeah. It's okay, you get it. It's just something.
It's something to do.
Right. And I watch your clips and I watch your features, and you really put yourself into the music. I appreciate that as a DJ.
Thank you.
King James, you welcome.
Yes.
Before we get into, because we're getting to that moment, before we get into these positive thoughts, which we definitely want you to stay for, what do you want or hope that people take from you, young people, about the next generation of, jazz music, and just like this instrument and playing the saxophone?
I would say, probably the main thing that I want people to take away is just the fact that you can be yourself 100%. I see different people sometimes, and they just like, and I'm still stepping into me and, learning and growing as I go. But just people get caught up in trying to be a certain way for social media or whatever. But just with, such a, classical instrument, a jazz instrument, I'm just, trying to do my thing with, adding a little hip hop to it and stuff like that. So just the fact that you can be yourself 100%.
If you ever need some vocals, I've been practicing.
Okay.
Oh no.
No, but
I
see,
actually sing myself. I don't know if you guys knew.
You
But I've been-
sing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I have a lot of music on the way. So.
Go ahead. We're
Oh,
ready to
wow.
hear some singing. Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ready today. I can't. I'm not prepared.
Go that pump.
That's okay. We're gonna give you a pass because you showed out on the
Thank
saxophone.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you play beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And but
Appreciate it.
I've been singing longer than Romeo, so if you need somebody, just let me know.
You started,
Right.
Just get two backup singers, Monty. You can have both of them as backup singers.
I see.
Romeo will bring the energy. Terry be there, and he I'm a backup singer, the bouncer. So you can have everything all in one.
Right. All right, bet.
And Cass sings too occasionally.
No, Cass doesn't.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
why I'm not even gonna fake audition for you because
He does a great Sade impression.
3 backup singers?
nah, I got you on the whatever else you need. I
Maybe
got
Cass could be the dancer, the sax dancer.
Okay, got
No,
you.
I know
really,
you got it.
Yeah.
I know you don't need any of our help because
but
you got it going on your own.
Yeah, and I'm not about sharing. I mean, if it's me and you up on stage, I don't need nobody else. So,
she play for Kamala Harris. Be at the inauguration. That sounds like
right. That would be amazing.
That's amazing. Have sax baby. Hey, Democratic Party, we want you to make sure you invited Monty to play.
I would love to. Yes.
Well, we are going to get into these positive thoughts. It's that time of the day. I'm going to let our guests go first. Imani, if you're ready, just share something positive you want to say to the audience today.
I think the best thing I can give right now is just go about your day trying to inspire others in any way, shape, or form. I think that's like one of the highest acts that we can give, and just really inspire others to step into their greatness, their genius. So that's what I have right now.
Okay, I'll pick up from it and I'll just say living your truth. In this moment, there's nothing more that you can do but to just, accept everything that you are and move through life accordingly. I'm passed to Romeo.
Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, it is Tuesday. Relax. The week is still ahead. Y'all will be all right. Well, trust in him and you'll be all right. You caught that one. King James, let's go.
Yeah, I'm inspired by my guest, our guest, former ESPN reporter, Mike Hill, who's about to get married to Cynthia Bailey. And be truthful with yourself. And if you need to lean on others, whether it's God, a psychologist, psychiatrist, friends, pastor, unearth the rot and decadence within you because it will kill you. And Mike is living proof of that. Matter of fact, there's many musicians and many stars out there who have died early or took their own life or overdosed on drugs because they didn't deal with what is inside, childhood trauma or whatever. So deal with that so that you can move forward into your destiny. And I pass the ball to Mr. Buster Steve.
Hey, well, we've got Health IQ at 6 p.m. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Rolling Out AM. Big shout outs to all of our guests. We really are excited about the creativity that we found inside of all of our guests. Imani, we really love you. We want everybody to go and support her and everything that she's doing so that her success, she is truly a lighthouse and an inspiration for all of those young women. This is that moment for women that we have always wanted. They've always been there. So unite, everybody. We want everybody to unite and get behind this movement. Terry Shropshire, you've done a wonderful job today talking and sharing. Cassidy in the city, big ups to you for all your great things. Romeo International for bringing Malcolm and showing another generation that creativity that has brought Malcolm in their lives. No matter what you do during this pandemic, study. Make sure you study so you can inspire. If you study, our entire community will change, and this moment will be recognized as a moment that we move generations forward. So no matter what you do, make sure that you are involved. You don't have to be in the streets, but you do have to be in the struggle. This is Munson Steve, rolling out AM, Romeo International, Cast in the City, First King James, and Almani, the great sax phone player. We love you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, Almani. And for all of you, thanks for tuning in to Facebook. Share our show. And of course, we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Bye, Monty.
Thank you, Monty.
Thank you, Amani.
See you, Iris Baker.
I followed you first.
I'm all the backup you need.